the sand at the surface is here. The clouds extend down there and out over to here. Not much over into there. So I've got this dark blue area as definite clouds. I've got the light blue area as possible clouds, and the yellow areas appear to be cloud-free, like partly cloudy, no chance of rain. This is a pear-shaped area at the top, and then I've got the other part. I asked my wife about this specifically. I said, it looks great as it is. I can just put it in a setting and be done with it. Or I can do it like this. I can get this pear-shaped thing and have a little bit left over. Be to cut through this area. I suppose not trying to cut there to get very close to this, but to cut in there to grind into it. And of course that makes sense, since this is not going to be anything anyway. And then you can grind into this as well. If I cut straight down through there, that gives me several possibilities. Well, first of all, there's this area. I've got a possible stone that's like this, which is a pretty odd shape. But anyway, back to the wife. The wife wants one. She wants an elegant thing, not some sort of natural state rock, opal. I have some a fantastic choroid that I'm having mounted for her. That's sort of an informal piece. She wants a formal piece. So I think that this area is a thing to do, and I need a regular, need some sort of regular outline to the thing. So I think that this pear will be fine. Now for real life. Here's the actual stone. So here's the stone as is. I mean, honestly, it really looks pretty good just as it is. I don't think that area is hardly viewable at all. But what she wants is a formal looking piece. So I can either, I could come in here and try, in other words, make it symmetrical. I could try to do that. I could try to go to the tip, and I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I think this is usable, and I don't think it'd be a huge sin to have this in the finished piece. If this is the pear-shaped thing right there, then I've got to be more or less round that edge out. This is sharp and angled down. This is flat, and of course this is flat all the way around there, and the cut will be in there, and it also will be flat. This end I'll have to round that sharp edge a little bit off, but it's a pretty nice stone, and I think you can appreciate that if it hangs like this. The color is fantastic. The color is fantastic. Actually, it's not as fantastic in the other way. So look at this. Look what happens if we hang it this way. It's just not acceptable. So if we hang the pear right side up, so to speak, with the narrow part at the top, it doesn't really work. You have to do it this way. So I'm really torn. I mean, this, if we look at this area though, you know, at this angle, and of course angles are everything, but I mean, that's a fairly big defect. It's very thin down here. It's at least 1.5 millimeters thicker here. In order to make it a formal stone, I would still have to give it some symmetry. So I can't lose this because that's good opal. So if, in other words, if I cut that off to make it symmetrical and cut this little thing, I just don't see it. I'm not gonna put a template on it and cut an oval. So let me think about this a couple of more minutes. No more, none of this mindless banter. I'm thinking, by the way, of having a television channel, the opal cutting channel, and I'm going to be the star. It's going to be one of those channels where it's going to be the star is going to be flawed and, you know, sort of a bumbling idiot, as opposed to having like a real cutting star, or a star cutter on the show. But you know, I think having me do it'll just give some comic relief because I'm such a bumbling idiot. But let me think about this for a second more. Look how good that looks hanging. We're getting a little bit out of the color there, but that can be rounded down. That looks pretty darn good hanging down. We can see the color. You just see this pallor there. She wants symmetry. She wants formality. Well, she doesn't want symmetry necessarily. I think if I cleaned it up, it would be all right. But let me think about this for a minute.